What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blunt guy. Hey! And we are back again with another One Piece post-chapter discussion. We will be talking about chapter 1061 and predictions and what's to come, right? But before I get into that, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also, comment down below your thoughts on this discussion and also comment what you thought of the chapter as well. Follow me on Twitch so you could catch me live and you could interact with me in real time. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and make sure you join the community. Come be a part of the Discord. That's where I engage the most. And you might end up being, you have the opportunity to be on a future panel like today. But yeah, anyway, let's get this show on the road and let me bring in my guests. So before we, let's get into it. So what were your guys' thoughts on the chapter? Let's start with Joy Boy. Like, you could just give me, it doesn't have to be a big explanation of, we'll get more into it, but what are your kind of overall thoughts on the overall channel or chapter? How'd you feel about it?
I mean, big W for me.
Big W
for guessing Vegapunk.
Yeah, you did predict that, so I know you're. I know that was good for you.
Second thought is that the Big Mom Pirates crew are clowns. Honestly,
the Big Mom Pirate crew are clowns.
Yeah, the cover story continues.
Oh, I thought you meant from. Are you talking about the cover? So you talking about? Why you say that though? Or we could talk about that some more. We could talk about that when we break down the chapter. I was going kind of skip the cover story because I didn't think nobody would have anything. But if you got something to say about the cover story, we could definitely talk about that. But yeah. So you enjoyed the chapter overall though? It did.
Oh yeah. For sure.
It did kind of confirm your prediction on us going to Vegapunk's island in the first place. So, guess that was a big W for you, like you said.
Yeah.
And Angel, what's up? How'd you feel about the chapter?
I mean, I think it's interesting. I think especially the official and the official translation. It's pretty interesting how different the stuff is. Yeah. Well, some of the stuff.
I actually just finished reading the official, and I noticed like at the end when with Vegapunk when she says something like I'm just a humble scientist. I mean we'll get into that later, but I did notice as well that there was some differences. So yeah,
especially with his attitude towards them being pirates.
Yeah. And we got Cube. I noticed Cube has entered to the chat. Cube has entered the chat.
What's up, guys?
What's up? So,
what's up, Cube?
So what is your overall impression of the chapter? That's pretty much what we're talking about.
Well, actually, I really like the chapter. Because first of all, my idea is that Bonnie could have helped Vivi, and now we're seeing Bonnie, so maybe that will clear that up. Okay. And I also like the whole Vegapunk vibes. Like all the different machines that we've seen. Is that girl actually Vegapunk or not? Like I don't think so. I think it's a
we're going to get into the specifics. I just want everyone's initial thoughts on the chapter before we get into it, but. I'm glad you got that spunk in you, though. I'm glad you got that spunky. So, yeah, you guys probably know my thoughts. I definitely really enjoyed this chapter. I think last chapter had like way more hype, right? Like as far as just the craziness of everything, right? Like with the Seraph. Hold on. Make sure I'm getting the Seraphim, Blackbeard. all that. But this chapter, it was great because we got Vegapunk. For how long have we been waiting for Vegapunk? We've been waiting for Vegapunk for,
2007. 2007.
Yeah. So what? That's like
2000
13
15 years.
15 years. 15. God damn.
15 years.
All right. So yeah, let's get it. Let's dig into this chapter and all the theories that come later in the series that we might have gotten from this chapter. Starting with the cover story, right? We got the Vinsmokes escaping with Caesar, and Joy Boy, you kind of had something to say about this.
Oh yeah, like the Big Mom crew have just been clowned on in their own territory. I don't think they've got a single W in their own territory yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Roger came in there, snuck in, stole a poneglyph. The Rouge came in, wrecked up shop. Luffy came in.
Didn't Kid go in there though?
Yeah, Kid went in there too.
And but he didn't take a win, did he?
He didn't take it out.
The copies of 2 poneglyphs, or one of the poneglyph copy.
He got a copy
one
too?
Of the commanders. Yeah, he
Kid?
said it. He's the one they got from the Big Mom commander.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They didn't
did
say
say
which
that.
one it was.
I missed that
They
one.
didn't say which one it was, but the one Big Mom commander, they apparently they either beat him or they tricked him, and they were able to flee with a copy of the poneglyph.
Maybe it was
Road
Snack.
poneglyph.
Maybe it was Snack. Maybe that's why he got demoted, because he was taking too many L's. Yeah.
All I gotta say is like, Joy Boy saying this made me remember, this like, and they were facing off against Katakuri, man. Oh my god.
Hey, man. That's
very
sad,
disappointing.
man. And people want Luffy to beat Big Mom. Like, people want Luffy to fight Big Mom, and like after Wano, like people were saying that. I'm like, bruh, Big Mom don't need no more L's, man. She been taking too many L's, man. That for a while people was calling her Big Meme, and it's like, I like Big Mom, but I can't be disrespecting Big Mom like that, man. Come on now, because she, now the Vinsmokes escaping. I'm kind of, especially now that we're in the Vegapunk arc, and the potential Caesar and Judge reunion that I'm sure we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Because now I'm very curious about Caesar Clown, because his role with Judge and all of it. Because when you think about it, his devil fruit is one of the most scientific uses. We can use it the most with the math. So I'm wondering if Caesar Clown's devil fruit has an importance for Germa. So it could be. That could also be the reason why they're getting together. For Oda wants to bring that back up. Because I think that I believe the Mads had like a lot of different goals that they weren't able to achieve, and I think they're going to achieve them all through Vegapunk or Judge.
It might be a little out of pocket, but Germa is based off of the German Empire, so having the guy with the gas fruit.
Right. That is.
What you doing, Oda?
But it's. I don't know.
Mads 2.0 looking pretty good now.
Yeah, I just don't know if I find it ironic that the culmination of this whole Caesar and Judge thing happens during the same arc, or because I don't know I don't think this is gonna be a long arc at all. I don't think it's gonna be like this might be like Zoe kind of like maybe a little longer than Zoe, maybe a little shorter. I don't know. Probably around the
for me, at least
same
Hazard. If you think about it.
I don't think it's gonna be
about 40 chapters too.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that long.
Because if you look at.
But hold on, let me finish. I think it's just kind of ironic how all that with Judge and Caesar culminates during the same arc with Vegapunk. They're like their ex-partner in Mads. Like could they even show up in Egghead Island? I don't know. I don't want to speculate that, but I'm just kind of throwing that out there. But what were you saying, Cube?
I was saying, if you think about it, I think it's Angel and we talked about it the other day, but if you think about it, it's very similar to what happened in the Fishman Island arc with Punk Hazard. Fishman Island, at the end of Fishman Island, we learned about Joy Boy. End of Wano, we find out about who is Joy Boy in the story. Then we get a scientific arc, Punk Hazard. Now we are getting that, so it might be like a Punk Hazard size, which was not a big arc.
I
It was
don't
a
know.
pretty quick arc.
Because Punk Hazard was, you said 80 chapters?
No, 40.
40 chapters?
40. Yeah, 40. It was quite short.
Zoe was,
it's
anybody
Big
know
Mom.
how long Zoe was? It was like less than 10,
25,
right?
30.
Was it 20? It wasn't 25.
Yeah, it was like
Nah.
less than 10. It was.
I thought it was 8.
No, Zoe was 25.
Zoe
It
was
was
not
25
20.
chapters. There were a lot of different parts of it. Or was the Reverie mix of the Zoe arc? Maybe that's why you think of it, because Reverie was also a short arc.
Oh,
I
I
think
gotta
Zoe
look
and
that
the
up.
Reverie was. Yeah, I think Zoe and the Reverie can mix up one full arc together, or like
I
one
thought-
small
I
arc
thought-
together.
Zoe was
I thought
23
Reverie-
arcs.
23 chapters.
23 chapters. 23 chapters. And
I thought Reverie was considered a part of Wano.
no, it was before
No,
Wano.
because there's two parts. There's two parts. There's the
No,
real
I know.
Reverie.
Oh wait, no. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I was ignorant.
Yeah. When
You
we
got-
see Emu, that's the Reverie arc. Then when we see the stuff about the newspaper about what happened to Sabo, that was in Wano. That was out of the Reverie arc. That was a Wano arc moment, like what happened
I
to
thought
rest of the
Reverie
world.
was after Wano.
No,
I
it
mean,
was before.
after Whole Cake Island.
It was, but it was. Well, Reverie?
It was set up to Reverie. Set up to Reverie.
Yeah, I thought Reverie was after Whole Cake.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, right before Wano. Think about
Yeah,
it.
it was,
We saw
it
Emu.
was the setup Reverie before Wano.
Yeah. It's just the outcome of the Reverie. We learned it during the Wano. We learned about
Yeah.
the Shishibukai, about Blackbeard's speech, about we have to go there before the government makes their hands on it. All of that happened right before Odin's flashback.
Yeah.
I think it was between arc 2 and 3. That's the results of the Reverie, if I remember correctly.
I think how long this arc that we're currently in is, I think that depends on whether Vegapunk comes off as an antagonist or like more of a neutral party. Like if Vegapunk is an antagonist and they have to like, I don't know, go against Vegapunk, I could see it going to like Punk Hazard levels. But if this is more of an arc, just more for like us learning of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like just us learning about things. I think it's going to be more of a Zoe. I think it's going to be more, and plus, again, I think Oda's trying to not have such long arcs anymore. So if this, like I could see 20 chapters, 25, 30, 30 max. I don't see 40 because Punk Hazard wasn't by any stretch like a long arc, but I think to have an arc that long for something like, especially because we got bigger arcs to fill, right? To have another Punk Hazard length arc would cut into a lot of what Oda's trying, like the time he's trying to end the series. You know what I'm saying? Because we still gotta. I don't know if we're still going to Elbath. I assume we still gotta go Elbath. We still gotta go to Laugh-Tale. We still gotta potentially have a Marine versus Pirate arc or whatever. Like it's still a lot of stuff to cover. So I don't think this arc could be too long. You know what I mean? So 20 to 30 chapters max, I would say.
I was gonna say I think what you just said is gonna be both. I think it'll be mixed between Punk Hazard and Joe because from what we know is Vegapunk was arrested and he seems to be heavily guarded when Tetsumaru said I'm part of a Vegapunk's personal bodyguard. So it's not like he's he's free to move around. So I do feel like Luffy and all will have to like get him out of the situation to talk to him or like but since they're Yonko level for me, I think it won't be like Punk Hazard where it'll take like 40 chapters to win. I think it'll go quite easily. So I think it'll be a mix between both. A very short arc, but they'll show their level as well. They're not at the same level as when they were at Punk Hazard. So it'll be a mix between both.
Depending on how quick they get to Vegapunk, I don't know. I think it just depends on how much information Oda plans on revealing on how long this arc is gonna be. But
Yeah. All right. Well, going into chapter, we had like Straw Hats. We had Luffy pretty much save Joribani. This shark pretty much this big old robotic shark attacks the ship, which come to find out that shark is like a android or something. It's like a robot, and it has the number Punk 3. Which is a repetitive theme through this whole chapter with these different numbers, like Punk numbers and all that. Like this was Punk 3, which one of you guys pointed out. Like when I first seen it, I just seen NK. Like I didn't even see the U. I seen NK3. So I'm like, NK3, what could that mean? You know what I'm saying? And then it attacks the ship. And the Straw Hats also split off. They all split off like Straw Hats normally do when we start arcs. Oda loves splitting the crew. And before the shark could destroy it, we see a big cyborg, which at first I thought was Frankie. I initially thought was Frankie. It kind of looked like Shogun Frankie a little bit, which I thought was dope at the time. I'm like, bro, Frankie got a underwater mecha suit. Like what will we see next? A space mecha suit from Frankie? But yeah. So
Ooh, also on like the big robot, it does say Vega Force 1.
Yeah.
Which like I
Force
kind of like connected with like Air Force 1.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I was kind of trying to lead into, the whole Vega Force, right? When I think of like a force, right? When somebody's like Vega Force or Power Force or something, I usually think like a police force or some type of army or military, someone there to protect unit kind of. So, which I might talk more at the end of this, because especially the big conversation that we kind of, I know everybody want to talk about. So yeah, I'm gonna cut. I want to cut to the Marine stuff. I want to get the Marine stuff out the way, right? We got.
I want to actually talk about something. Don't know if you see when the big robot attacks the shark. I like the fact that Oda shows that the shark is scared or like reacts like like it shows emotion. So I do wonder if those pieces of those robots like are living. You know what I mean? They're like cyborg in a way, more cyborg than robots or pacifistas. Because it was sweating when it was sweating and trying to flee another direction, showing fear, which is an emotion.
Yeah.
Which I found interesting.
So, I mean,
yeah, that gets touched out in the end of the chapter too.
Yeah. I mean, that is interesting. Like the fact that it, I kind of looked at it as a comedic thing, but still, you can't overlook the fact that the shark was laughing and, looked like it was licking his mouth at once, like he was gonna get some food. Yeah, like I mean that's a good thing. Like, but I think it just kind of goes to how great of a scientist that Vegapunk is, right? Like the fact that he could create AI, but the AI has emotion, that it could show if it's hungry or if it's like afraid of something, as far
I'm
as
sure that was
huh?
I'm pretty sure that was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think it has to do with AI, because like at the end of the chapter, like that's when Vegapunk like states, "Oh, I can't override like this creature's like primal instincts, pretty much."
Yeah, but primal instincts will come with
which
AI,
made me
though.
think of like Kuma.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but primal instincts will be a part of the intelligence, the artificial intelligence of it. You know what I'm saying? Or the will. You know, like if you create a robot with
Yeah, but
no
I'm pretty sure it
AI,
was
it
like
would,
a shark.
huh?
I'm pretty sure it was like a shark turned into a cyborg
Yeah, yeah. So you wouldn't
rather
need
than
AI for that.
not
You
like
just
a
use that
robot.
creature's already existing intelligence and build on it.
So you're what you guys are saying is the shark was a cyborg and not an android.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, that could be the case as well. I don't. It wasn't really explained. You know, they just kind of. I'm going more off the Straw Hat's response. How, you know, Zoro saying, "Oh, it's metal." So, you know, even though cyborgs are metal as well, but you know, it just kind of seem it's more mechanical than having any like what's the word, like any like organicness to it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like I didn't think it was like a cyborg, like Kuma was a
Yeah, at
cyborg,
first,
or
yeah, I also thought that too until the girl said the primal stuff. I was like, oh, so it's probably a shark and
Yeah.
then turned cyborg.
yeah. Trying to see where you guys where it said
She does
anything
call it a
about primal.
mecha shark too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
That's-
did. But you know, like Mecha Godzilla wasn't like a wasn't a
Yeah.
cyborg. So and it was called Mecha, you know. It was like Mecha Godzilla. It was just a android created like Godzilla, you know. So I mean, I guess it could be. I guess it could be a cyborg. That makes sense, you know. All right, so going to the marine aspect of this whole chapter, right? I was noticing the one character Prince Groose, right? Like I didn't even realize he was actual Prince when I read the scans, you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think in the official it says something about like they was calling him Your Highness. I don't think they said that in the scans. I don't think they called him Your Highness in the scan.
Yeah, no,
No.
he Helmeppo just says Prince.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to the scans possibly. But yeah, in the official, it was Your Highness.
Yeah, because I was wondering when reading the scans if Prince was his name or if it was a title.
Yeah, yeah, same here, dog. That's same thing I was thinking. You know. Yeah, I don't I'm trying to see if it said yeah, you have to come with us Prince, Power Prince. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about Your Highness. What are you saying, Q?
I don't know why, but when I first saw him, he gave me Doflamingo vibes. Something about him. Because there's something connection to Doflamingo. Because he kind of looks like one of the guy that Bellamy used to, his right hand of Bellamy. The guy with the weird knives we saw in Jaya. I don't know why. The way he's sitting or his face, there was a vibe from it that made me think Doflamingo.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it's just me.
I wonder, like, you know, I hope we get more information. Like, I mean, I guess he's not super important, but he's a prince and he's part of, like, he's a prince. He's obviously a prince of some kingdom, right? And,
Yeah.
But have we ever really even seen, like, any royalty ever be part of the Marines? That's kind of weird, you know? It's kind of weird that we see a character who's a Marine, but also a member of a royal family as well, you know, and part of Sword. So he's, like, part of kind of the.
Well, actually, we do have one, but he's dead. Rosinante.
Well, Rosinante was different though, because he wasn't.
Yeah,
really,
I know, but
he used to be royalty.
Yeah, he used to be former, but yeah, like
I'm talking somebody who's
only
active.
example. Yeah. Then we haven't.
Yeah, I'm talking about like an active royal member that you know, like that. You know, I thought that was a little weird that we got like a.
Oh yeah.
actively royal, active prince, right? Because it didn't say he was a past, or ex prince. Just he's the current prince right there. I mean, anybody got anything else to add about the Marine part of this whole chapter? I don't think it really gave me anything to think about.
I want to talk about Uma.
All pretty cool.
Would you say, Joe Boy?
Said doll pretty cool.
I knew you would appreciate that.
I'll let her ruin me.
Wait, what did you say, Cube?
I was gonna say, do you guys think that we got
you breaking up,
the Odo box?
Cube, you breaking
up.
Yeah,
your connection's pretty. You're pretty.
But you think interesting that what? Oh shit! Because I'm walking back home. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say. You guys think that we might soon get a Odo box in the future where Tashigi might be actually a member of Sword? Because I do feel very weird that Tashigi is among Sword members, but didn't get a reveal that she's a member of Sword.
I don't know if she's part of Sword though.
I mean, if she didn't get one this chapter, I don't see why she would get one in the future. But if she did, it is what it is.
Because she didn't get the Sword Odo box. They only said she was a vice captain, HQ vice captain. Didn't put Sword in her name.
Oh, then she's probably
Well, it says she's a captain. She's a Navy HQ captain. An official.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So I'm wondering, do you guys think that this is a hint that later on we'll maybe get her in Sword, or will reveal that she's also a Sword member, or think that she's not in Sword?
Can she be a part of Sword? Can she join it eventually or become one? Maybe. I don't think she's one now, and I think if she was, we would have got one.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was like a secret member.
I don't think that's. Not, I don't get why Oda would hold off on like letting us know that she's a member. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that would. I don't know what holding that secret would do. You know what I mean? Like she's not like she's one of the most popular characters that people are itching to know if she, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it could be in the future, maybe Oda forgot. If, like, let's say if she is part of Sword, maybe Oda forgot to add it, but I don't think he would have forgot, especially he didn't forget to add Sword and all these other characters.
So my thought on that real quick is, this is one of the first times we don't see Tashigi with Smoker. So that could be why he didn't reveal it, because maybe he'll reveal it through Smoker. Okay. And also, it was, since Smoker isn't with Tashigi, what is he up to? I honestly think he was sent to go after one of the warlords.
Or maybe he's on Egghead Island.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Now that you said that, because
honestly,
because think about it, right? Because think about it. Egghead Island is not that far from where they're at right now, and I'm thinking like I can see there eventually being Marine presence in Egghead Island, especially off this chapter, how they was talking about going to Egghead Island or whatever. I was thinking, would Helmeppo and maybe some of the Marines go to Egghead Island and talk to Vegapunk, or maybe they got Smoker there already, But go ahead, Cube.
I was gonna say also, if I remember correctly, the whole Puck Hazard situation had a big effect on Smoker. The fact that what Caesar Cloud to the government was doing. So I would see here that if he was at the Egghead Island, that he would forcibly himself, knowing Smoker, want to seize Vegapunk, and so they would, since he's a vice admiral, they would have brought him to Vegapunk to talk to him, and maybe like Tashigi she didn't have the rank to go meet Vegapunk.
Yeah.
So knowing Smoker, I would see him like, if they would say no once, he would just go ahead. And since he's a vice admiral, they might give more lenient towards him, higher rank and everything. It's like the third highest rank in the Marines.
I think it'll be a good way to bring Smoker back into the story as well, to bring him on this arc, right? Because it kind of mirrors being on Punk Hazard a little bit. You know, we got one Science Island where we seen Luffy meet up with a supernova and Smoker. Then we have another Science Island ran by the ultimate science or scientist, and Luffy meets Jory Bonnie, and Smoker's there as well again. You know.
Robot dragon, robot shark, or something like that.
Robot dragon, right? Robo dragon. That'd be pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty dope.
So I wanted to go back to the earlier discussion about the robots, and I want to talk about Kuma. Do you guys think he's alive?
Yeah.
Well, I was probably going to get the Kuma. I was going to get the Kuma when we talked about Jory Bonnie.
Oh, when we talk about Jory Bonnie.
Yeah.
Which is which is gonna be now, because I think that's the next thing, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't really got nothing else on the Marines anyway. I just kind of was a little intrigued by this Prince guy and somebody brought up Smoker, and that kind of brought up something. What was you gonna say?
I did think of something because I saw theories flying around when the Seraphim happened 2 chapters ago about that it could be like the kids they got from Punk Hazard, but I guess this chapter kind of gets rid of that theory.
Okay. Oh, you thought the Seraphim were going to be the kids?
No. I saw theories floating around that people were saying that the Seraphims could have been the kids that got picked up from Punk Hazard, but since we see pretty much all of them here.
Yeah.
You saw the Kaido Seraphim theory on with Mihawk? Been rolling around lately. That they say the one that might have give trouble to Mihawk, who it seems that he had a scar at the Cross Guild, could have been a Seraphim based off Kaido.
Oh well, the whole scar thing, that was just how Oda draws shoulders.
Oh.
No, it wasn't his shoulder, it was a scar. You can see the stitches.
Yeah, because it had stitches, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's drawn shoulders like that before.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because even like the next chapter, like Mihawk even has his little dagger back too.
I mean, if he did get a scar, I think it would be kind of a showcase for the Seraphim. Like, let's say he fought the Seraphim and one of them injured, like just got a cut on him. You know what I mean? Not like severely injured him or anything. It would show that these Seraphim are big deals. But all right. So kind of moving on, right? We get Jory Bonnie talking to Luffy, Jinbei, and Chopper, right? And one thing that I kind of got from this, right? Because I know some of you guys was telling me how Kumo sent Jory Bonnie to Egghead Island, right? But I don't think that's the case. And the reason why I don't think that's the case, because when Jinbei asked Jory Bonnie about what happened with her crew and what happened to her ship, she said the monster ate her ship and she didn't have a crew. She came alone. Yeah. You know, I mean, now that could have been kind of deflection. Maybe she didn't maybe she just lied right there. But if she had a ship, that kind of, to me, that disproves this idea that Kuma sent her there. Because it seemed more like she got there by a ship instead of Kuma sending her there. So maybe she got sent somewhere close. You know, like I could see that maybe she got sent somewhere close and she traveled to Egghead Island. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my speculation. Or she got sent somewhere, maybe not close, because, you know, we had that whole Wano arc. And I think if she got sent away by Kuma, that would have been early in the Wano arc, right? So, and the whole Wano, them being in Wano was like a couple weeks or something, right? So it seemed like she got the Egghead Island pretty recently. You know, I would kind of
all of Wano was like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, about a month. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because it was a month before the raid, and then a week passed after the raid,
yeah.
and then it was a few days later when we finally get to Egghead Island.
And then when did everything kind of break out? Like post Reverie stuff. Like when did when we got all the three headlines? Like, because I would think that's when Kuma would have sent Jory Bonnie away, or Jory Bonnie would have escaped, right? And that was what, first act, second act?
Yeah, I think it was second.
Second act, like between first and second, or between second and third.
I think it was between. I think it was the end of the first act, and before the second act started.
Yeah, because in between second and third was the flashback.
With flashback.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was in between the first and second.
Okay, so then that means Jory probably would have left Reverie at that time, right? So that gives her a few weeks to get to Egghead Island, because now it seems like she just got to Egghead Island. Like she, it's not like, as far as I know, it don't seem like she was there that long. You know what I mean? Because she said that shark, and, the shark they just dealt with, ate her ship.
I just dropped something about Bonnie. Apparently, there's the next data book that's coming out. They already had the raw scan in Japanese, and they have some sketches with Bonnie. And I just posted a thing, and apparently, the kanji over her head means it's a sentence meaning "restore my father now." Something I read too. Yeah. Something I found another Discord.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's why I wanted to bring up whether you think Kuma is alive or not, because after reading the official viz for chapter 1061, I think he's dead. I think
he's alive because of his devil fruit. Because of his devil fruit. I think that's why only Kuma they could have done that on Kuma, because there's a fruit that repulses. Yeah, I think he has the one devil fruit that protects him from being completely erased.
What do you mean?
The devil fruit. The devil fruit.
Wait, Angel, Blunt was saying. Yeah.
What do you mean dead though?
Like, I think what's it called? Like, I don't mean like, how do I say it?
You mean he's like?
I don't think he can be brought back to the way he was before.
Yeah.
Mentally, his mind.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I got you.
But yeah, because like I don't think he's literally dead. But like this chapter in the official visit says, Vegapunk says, why can't I? Let me go back and see that. Why can't you? Why isn't it possible to control the urges of a living creature? So I was like, oh. But then I thought about, and then that made me think about what's his name, Kuma. And then when what's it called? When Doflamingo describes Kuma after his surgery with Vegapunk, he says that he's basically a living corpse. So
yeah, but that's also the word of something for the world government. For me, I do feel like Vegapunk is playing he's playing the two fields. He's not, from his actions, he doesn't look like he's 100% on the world government side. So maybe he could have said that to at least give Kuma a chance. Because I do feel like Kuma's devil fruit is the reason why they did it on him. He has the one person that could come back from that, in a way.
Yeah, it's tough with Kuma. I don't know, man. Cause kind of based on what's been said, I would say Angel could be right, but again, we don't. It just kind of depends on what type of person Vegapunk is. If like Cube said he's playing or she's playing both sides, he, she, whichever one. If Vegapunk's playing both sides, maybe Vegapunk left something that could restore his humanity. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's tough to call right there.
The only way I can see him possibly still, being able to get back to normal is if Kuma lied to Frankie or lied to whoever he said to. Like when he said that he was he was told to, when he said that his last mission was to protect the Sunny, and Vegapunk did that, maybe he just lied about that, and maybe that was just his last. Maybe that was just a primal urge he had.
Or maybe he didn't know. Maybe he
Yeah,
wasn't told, you know.
Currently.
Maybe he was meant to believe
also.
that. So, you know, maybe Vegapunk lied to him.
What do you mean lied to him?
Maybe Vegapunk told him that was going to be the case, but it really wasn't. Like maybe Vegapunk.
Wait, no, I'm confused.
You said because you said Kuma told Frankie that like this was the last time he was going to be that way, right? And
no, I'm saying Kuma said that this was you know, something about an agreement about how his last he was ordered to protect the Sunny.
Yes, and I'm saying maybe because why was that?
He wasn't ordered to guard the Sunny.
Oh, then what was it?
Like, that was his request.
Last request.
It was his request.
Oh, he requested before he got the injury.
Yeah.
It was also
my thing is like if that was his final request, and then why is he a slave in Reverie? If it wasn't like my only reasoning that I could see for it is that Vegapunk just saw him as a failure, or at that point is when the Seraphim were being finalized.
I think
so they didn't need him anymore.
I don't think Vegapunk necessarily has the say in something like that, right? Because I think Kuma being turned into a slave and made a fool, I think that was more of a world government decision. You know what I'm saying? Like Vegapunk might not wanted that for Kuma, but maybe the Celestials wanted it because remember Kuma used to be he was a revolutionary and he was a king. You know, so it was kind of a way to make him look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like how I could kind of say. So maybe if let's say the world government wanted to do that to Kuma, Vegapunk can't like say no to that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Vegapunk's a semi-prisoner or like just, you know, like Vegapunk's just an employee of the world government. He can't, or I don't know what to say to Vegapunk because again, there's a lot of speculations whether he's what we've seen was Vegapunk or somebody else. But assuming it is an old man, you know, he wouldn't have been able to refute the world government saying they're going to take Kuma. You know what I mean? And as far and speaking of what Angel said, when Kuma said like that was his last request and told Frankie that, right? Like Kuma might have been under the impression that was going to be the last of them because Vegapunk might have put that impression on Kuma. That's what I mean. Vegapunk might have lied to Kuma.
No. You see, this is what I've been. I would like. What if like I'm saying like what now I'm thinking like what if he just didn't meet the request? But then that wouldn't make sense because of what's it called? Marineford.
Again, if let's say Vegapunk is a double agent, you know, because there has been theories out there say Vegapunk might be working with the Revs, you know, maybe Vegapunk put some failsafe to reverse Kuma's condition, but Kuma was probably led to believe that he was going to be no more after that. Like that's what I'm saying.
Oh, and another thing is, I want to point something out. Bonnie, when she is in the water,
you're not going to acknowledge what I said.
Yeah, I heard what you said, but I just wanted to point this out. I think you know, like the theory about how Bonnie is older than she really is. I think she's probably younger than she really is, going off this chapter, because you know when she's in the water, she's at a younger age. And then when we see her out of the water, she's at an older age, or the age that we've seen her. So yeah.
But we already seen that what's called devil fruit power. Yeah, devil fruit powers do not revert to your state before you ate the devil fruit, or else Luffy would not be rubber in the water.
Yeah, sorry about
But
that.
also, and to add the stuff that we can pass to something else is also what you're saying, Angel. The problem is that Vegapunk, with the slave stuff, Vegapunk, as we know it, was arrested, and in exchange for to not be in prison, he would work for the world government. So he's not like and the Celestial Dragons have like a power status that's like, they can veto a lot of stuff. And even Akainu said it, they have their own rules. So there's some stuff that they deal between themselves. So I think if they wanted Kuma as a slave, I think they had the influence and the power to take him. And Vegapunk didn't do anything about it.
I completely agree. I
Something
personally
on that actually.
Oh.
With what Cube was saying about like Luffy and all that underwater, how his body stayed stretchy.
Yeah.
So with that, it could still work that way with Bonnie, like depending on if she has to like keep her will together to keep herself at the age she wants to appear.
Yeah,
because like her fruit doesn't like. Her fruit alone doesn't change the properties of her body like Luffy's does, right?
Yeah.
I would think that her.
So it could be a possibility.
I would probably think that her ability works to where she changes her age. It's permanent until she decides to change it again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know if it's like something she would have to consciously keep herself at a certain age. Now, if like you said, Joy Boy, if you're right and she has to consciously keep herself at a certain age, then when she loses conscious, she would revert. So yeah, but I don't think it would go like that. I think it would be like she's whatever age she chooses to be, she's that age until she decides to change it again. You know what I mean? So if she's
and like
she's a kid,
and what I was thinking of like countering that is because when Luffy hits Crocodile with water, it's his actual body. It's not that he like turns into mud or anything, which would happen with water mixing with sand. It's him actually hitting his solid body, canceling the devil fruit power.
Yeah, that's what I mean, we're gonna have to just see more of her devil fruit, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially
I kind of want to talk about Marine. Bonnie's importance though, man, because now I'm realizing we're getting in the final stages of the series, and we still haven't really know about like Bonnie or Rouge, right? Like those are the only two supernova we haven't really gotten that Oda has been saving for some reason. Also, what like some other stuff we seen of Bonnie was when Akainu had Bonnie. Blackbeard had Bonnie, I think. Kind of like they both had Bonnie prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Like she like there's something with Bonnie that's like super important, but is it her devil fruit ability? You know what I mean? Like how we always talk about Law's ability to have that immortality fruit. Maybe she has like the fountain of youth. Like if she sacrificed herself, she could keep somebody young forever or something. I don't know. But anybody got any theories on Bonnie?
I mean, for this current arc, I personally think her goal for this arc is, to do what, I don't know, whatever Kuma is her dad.
No, I agree.
Or husband. I think whatever her thing is to restore him.
No, I agree.
And so I mean, yeah, but like her purpose to the story, I don't know, honestly.
I mean, Akainu had her captive, and somehow she's still free. Somehow she's not under, like, not an impel down or something. You know what I mean? So it's like Akainu allowed her to be free. Blackbeard
and like Akainu also like seemed concerned too when they did get her back.
True that, I guess.
It's like she has some importance. I feel as though, she has some important. Like she must be the child of somebody important. Could it be Kuma? I mean, if she was Kuma's daughter. I mean, unless Kuma's wife was important and not necessarily Kuma.
Actually, never mind. That wouldn't make sense. What I was about to say.
I don't know, but I think I'm getting like big Wizard of Oz like connections for this arc.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think because I mean, like the warm eddy, kind of like the tornado or whatever, and then. Honestly, this island is more of like Bonnie's mission, more than like the people that are with her right now.
Yeah.
Like she has 3 companions.
So Jinbei would be the Tin Man, or no, Jinbei would be the Tin Man, Chopper would be the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, and the man with no brain.
Yeah, I was trying to, but yeah, but yeah. What about you, Cube? Anything about Bonnie?
I was thinking about the Wizard of Oz thing. I actually quite like it. It's quite an interesting take. No, actually, no, the Bonnie and the Kuma thing. I think it does make it very interesting because it would somehow. Because like it would shine a light about Kuma's story, because I always wanted to have Kuma's backstory, but I always assumed that we would need to have somebody very close to him. So if we have something close to him, we might like have an explanation. We might even have a Kuma backstory through Bonnie.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Because if you think about it, the reason why we cannot think about Kuma is that we have nothing about him because he has no personality. But if we would get a flashback, if you think about it, the weakest flashback we got from any members of the crew was Usopp, because it was explained by Mary in Surf Village. Usopp never told his backstory. Yeah. It was Mary who told the story of his mother and stuff like that. And which seems very, very weak compared to the other members of the crew. No dream, no struggle, like no stuff like that. But Usopp is part of the crew. So I would see something like that with Bonnie explaining something, and maybe it could explain why they're calling her a queen, and maybe Kuma the tyrant king. Literally, it could be that Kuma was the opposite. Bonnie knows the truth because she was, like another princess and king story that Luffy always does. It's always like that. There's always a king, a prince, or a princess that he helps out.
I like that idea because Kuma is one of my favorite characters. He's like top 5, one of my favorites. But and I definitely would like to know more about him. But I kind of thought of something, a theory though, right? Like I know a lot of people think Kuma and like might be Jory Bonnie's father, but I'm thinking it could go a different direction. Like if Jory Bonnie was the daughter of somebody else that was important, just throwing the name out there. It's not. I haven't fully thought out the speculation yet. But let's say Jory Bonnie's the daughter of Eam or a Gorosei member or something. I don't know. And Kuma, and let's say she ran away from home, maybe out of some protection or something. Like maybe she had some type of importance that would have killed her. Like she would have had to sacrifice herself for somebody like maybe Eam or whatever. And then she ended up running to Kuma, and Kuma kind of protected her. And in having to protect her, he kind of lost his position as a king because he had to leave and end up maybe getting protection with the revolutionaries, So that kind of like him protecting Jory Bonnie made him have to abdicate his throne because, it would have targeted his kingdom. And he also went to the Revs, you know what I mean? Something along that line, like I don't know. That's just a theory that I just kind of conjured up talking about Jory Bonnie and Kuma, and that's might be why she's so connected to Kuma, because he was like her protector,
I just thought of something.
What's
the
up?
memory thing that he did with Kuma. What if it's not something Vegapunk, but something the world government can do, and Vegapunk was using it? Because the phrase that Angel and I were talking from the data book that's supposed to come out with Bonnie is, "Please restore my father now." So maybe it's not Kuma, but somebody else who has his memory, altered or something like that. If you think about it, Vegapunk is all about doing different invention and putting them all together. That's what the seraphims are. So maybe that idea of the memory thing is not something that Vegapunk worked on, but maybe that there was something pre-existent.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, right now, all I know is I don't think Kuma is free or alive. I don't know, but pretty interesting.
I mean, I don't think at the moment he is.
So yeah, but I really like how we can talk a lot about a character we know barely anything about.
I mean, you asked. I don't know. I don't know what Kuma's issue is, if he's alive or not. Yeah. But all right, so let's move on to the last part of the chapter where we get the whole Vegapunk reveal. Yeah, so I think a lot of people, are questioning whether this is, at least I haven't really watched any reactions, so I can't really talk about like what other people are saying. I might do a reaction this in my reaction stream, but I might find a reaction to do. But yeah, so we got Vegapunk, and it's a young woman, seems to be, right? So I'll let one of you guys start. Anybody want to volunteer to start on what they think about the whole Vegapunk reveal? Cube or Joy Boy. Boy. I haven't heard Joy Boy. Joy Boy kind of been kind of quiet.
I mean, there's a lot of red flags. No Oda box introduction yet. I mean, O2 on the suit. I mean, previous talks of Vegapunk calling him an old man. Left arm being bulged up, like it's kind of malfunctioning in a way.
I thought she was just
never noticed that.
Four-arm tribe or long arm tribe.
No, I don't. No, because they have different shoulders.
Yeah, they have a bunch of joints.
Oh.
Yeah, but like I mean, and with like in the scans, like the dialect being of an old man.
Yeah.
I think the Oda box, I don't know.
I think both arms are kind of bulged. It's just the one has a helmet on it, so we couldn't. And so we couldn't really tell. Could that? I mean, that could be like the coat that she's wearing. That could be like some sort of like wrist device that she has on or something. But I mean, I didn't notice that. But just kind of, good point though, or good observation. But yeah, I think the two most telling things for me is the fact that she has Punk 02, and why I say that is because I know, like, I mean, like, I've seen different movies, and when they have like different, I guess, versions of like different clones or different cyborgs of something, the prime like the original, I guess you would say the original will usually be either like 01 or 00, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her saying 02 just kind of implies that she's not an original of whatever, Yep. She's not the original creation, or she's not the original Vegapunk, And then, like you said, the fact that we didn't get an Oda box. Oda was very sparing with these Oda boxes he gave through the chapter, but didn't give Vegapunk an Oda box. Now, unless he gives Vegapunk an Oda box next chapter, like the beginning of the next chapter, maybe that could change, But I think that was very intentional.
Oh yeah. And plus, like I said, like during the stream, I think we'll get like a man behind the curtain kind of scene.
Yeah.
And with the real reveal of Vegapunk.
What was you going to say?
That's also why I think, and that's why I also think like I'm definitely getting more like Wizard of Oz vibes from that too. Because like at the end, when the reveal does happen, they give gifts. Like the Wizard of Oz gives gifts afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think those gifts are gonna be knowledge. I think it's just gonna be like that's when we finally find out what's up with devil fruits.
Yeah, hell yeah. Angel, was you gonna say something?
Nah.
You said something about the Oda box, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was gonna say something, but then I was like, nah, it wouldn't make sense because Oda like gave us a clear drawing of her and didn't give us an Oda box.
Yeah.
So I can't really give an excuse for that.
That would have been the perfect moment to give an Oda box. Just that spread alone, right? But what about you, Q?
Yeah.
What about you, Q?
So my take is similar to Joy Boy. Surprise, surprise. Great minds think alike. Because he talked about men and behind the curtain. Like I like this the Star Wars inspiration for the science aspect, and it does give me a lot of R2-D2 going see Obi-Wan with Princess Leia's message. Coming. So I would see that Vegapunk maybe you be using his robots or his pacifistas to relay a message if it goes with my idea of how Vegapunk is doing stuff, and that he doesn't play people, but he plays for a purpose. And right now he knows, I think, more than we think about Luffy. That we know that he knows about Luffy, and he's been invested in the crew. For me, I think he's been since Sabaody. It's clear that Kuma might have gotten Frankie's coordinates where to send him through Vegapunk. So we know that from Sabaody he has an interest in the crew. So yeah. So for me, I think that's like he can reach them. So he's found a way. He's found his creation to reach them. So it does fit the man behind the curtain as well.
Oh, and that could also explain like maybe like this interaction, because if this is a clone and he's programmed these clones to think, hey, we work for the world government, that would be their primal instinct: is we work for the world's government. We don't want to deal with any pirates.
Good
And
point.
since yeah, especially with them saying, "Oh, I guess we can't outprogram natural instinct," pretty much.
And maybe the program couldn't tell, like he didn't know who the Straw Hats were. Like the program didn't know to decipher the Straw Hats from any other pirate, right? Just kind of lumped them in with any other pirate. So, yeah, good point. Good point. So okay, I kind of want to. I mean, anybody got anything else about Vegapunk? About this whole reveal?
Other than like my big problem with the community, I guess it's not a big problem, but I see people complaining about like, oh, you have a problem with Vegapunk being a woman.
Yeah.
Like you're just being misogynistic. Like Oda's like giving us pretty clear hints, in my opinion, that this may not be the original Vegapunk.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. It's like I wouldn't have a problem if Vegapunk was a woman, right? But if I just think there's a lot more evidence to show that the Vegapunk that we see in this chapter is not the real Vegapunk, And it's always
Vegapunk looking like that. Vegapunk fine.
and it's also been implied that Vegapunk is an old man, So that as well. But I kind of want to I was trying to figure out where I was going. I want to talk about I mean, anybody got anything else about the chapter? Because I kind of want to go into a little bit predictions. You know, I kind of want to go into predictions. All right.
No.
No, you can go.
All right. So I want to talk about maybe the future of what we'll get from Vegapunk, possibly. You know, I'm thinking, you know, of everybody who can benefit from this trip to Egghead Island. You know, like the primary person that I think of, you know, and I think it's obvious is Frankie, right? Like, I think this could definitely be a good arc for Frankie, especially as far as learning and becoming a better scientist.
Yeah, I could see like a parallel with Frankie and Vegapunk that Chopper had with Hogback.
Yeah, like maybe Frankie doesn't like what Vegapunk's doing, maybe. Like,
yeah, I can see them talking about weapons and stuff.
Or it could be like the inverse of the Chopper Hogback situation.
Yeah, I kind of see more inverse than like Hogback being, or Vegapunk being like Hogback, where she's just like super unethical. You know what I mean?
Right.
But because
I think they're both pretty unethical.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, but
what?
A lot of science is going to have some things people are going.
You're
to
right. No,
you know what I mean?
You're right.
Yeah, but
we have the best scientific advancements when we throw ethics and morality to the side.
I just don't think Vegapunk is going to be maliceful about it, though. You know, like she's kind of in a position where she's has to make stuff for the world government, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, like, I would love to see Frankie have something like that big mech that Vegapunk had, right? Like something for the like a kind of like Iron Man suits, right? Like if Frankie had different Iron Man suits, like one for space, one for underwater and stuff. I just think that'd be dope for Frankie right there.
Yep. Oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I think when it comes to I think Chopper and Vegapunk are probably gonna. I mean, not Chopper and Vegapunk. I mean Frankie, Chopper, and Vegapunk. I think they'll have a pretty interesting interaction. Devil Fruit and thinking, and then with the SPS about Devil Fruits and how Vegapunk might answer. I'm curious on how that topic will come up.
Devil Fruits.
Yeah, I wonder how the topic will come up. I wonder how someone will ask him of his theory.
Maybe. I mean, good question, but maybe I could picture Vegapunk meeting Luffy, right, and possibly learning Luffy's Devil Fruit. Like Luffy tells him like, yeah, I got the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and then Vegapunk probably with the vast amount of knowledge and research that Vegapunk has and done, maybe Vegapunk is familiar with the Gomu Gomu no Mi and what its true purpose, like its true purpose, like what it really is, the Hito Hito no Mi Nika, you know, and then maybe that kind of open that door for Vegapunk to start explaining, right?
Well, I guess we did skip over something. Because when Bonnie asked about Luffy's bounty poster, he said that's when I'm the most free.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? But in its appearance, Luffy said I'm at my peak. So Luffy equates being at his peak to being
free,
having the most freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of I talked about that in the stream, but I did notice that. And even if you look at the picture right there, he kind of looked like he does in his Gear 5th form.
Yeah, he's doing that Popeye pose.
Yeah. So yeah.
I also wonder. I wonder, like, I wonder, like, I'm very curious on what his theory is gonna be. Honestly, that's what I'm most excited about for this arc is
what
Vegapunk's theory on devil fruits.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's something we gotta wait to see Vegapunk's thoughts on it. But I definitely want to know more about. I'm definitely curious on how that's gonna segue into Vegapunk talking about devil fruits, but this is all assuming that Vegapunk gives up this knowledge willingly, and it's not like
I mean, he has to with what Oda has said.
I mean, I don't see him having a problem with it.
Yeah,
I would just feel so betrayed if we don't get anything on devil fruit.
I mean, to me, I feel like Vegapunk may have been taken against his will, but I don't think if everyone in the world government that's on the island is defeated by the Straw Hat Pirates, I don't think he would really care about telling them. I mean, he left his notes on an island.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have like a trial for like Bonnie, Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei to go through before they meet him.
You think he might?
Yeah, definitely.
You think he might capture the current, like the other Straw Hats, though?
I mean, hasn't he already?
He might. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Technically, he does have them. I mean, he has the Sunny.
Are they on the Sunny?
They're on the Sunny.
Oh yeah, they are. I didn't even because I thought because I know they like fell off the Sunny, right? Like when it capsized, and I thought like maybe they made it to land or something. I thought maybe they made it to land, and he was bringing the ship out of the water. It's kind of how I seen it. Cause I never seen them get back on the Sunny when like we seen like when it capsized they was in the water, right? And then the robot. But I mean, I guess it is kind of implied that they're on the Sunny since she's still in the suit when she shows herself, and they can only really see her from the Sunny. There's no land around. So yeah, I guess they are. Didn't really.
I mean, because they even react to seeing Vegapunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the manga. You can't expect too much detail.
Yeah, I definitely think they're back on the ship.
Yeah. I don't know.
When you like Nami, I think it's the clearest you get. You can kind of see the wood.
I mean, come on.
And you got Caribou too.
Yeah, Caribou's out of the barrel now.
Yo, Caribou gonna be there for all the good information, man.
No, he's Gabaru. Not like Caribou.
So, talking about other people could benefit from Vegapunk, I could also see maybe Usopp and Chopper possibly. Because science and
I think
medicine
Chopper
work so well with each other.
Yeah, my big four choices are Luffy, Chopper, Frankie, and Sanji.
But yeah, Chopper. Just thinking about it now, it made me remember Punk Hazard or Chopper talking with whatever his name was, Caesar. Yeah, I think he'll definitely ask about artificial devil fruits. Chopper, because he seemed pretty interested about that when Caesar was when Law was explaining it, and then he said, and Chopper thought Caesar was cool, but then Law said Vegapunk came up with it, and then he took it back, and he's like, oh,
because that could also lead to like Chopper finding a cure for like the smiles.
Who? But repeat what you said, Joy Boy. You said the 4 people who benefit the most.
I said Luffy, Frankie, Chopper, and Sanji.
Okay. I would also add Usopp in there. because he's kind of
he's
kind of technical as well. And I didn't even think of Sanji, but seeing how Sanji's body and everything, he probably could learn a little bit more about that. And I would probably also add Usopp, and I would also add Robin as well.
You might as well just add Nami too with her time.
I was actually thinking of Nami too because maybe because she's a navigator, and I think Sans could probably help her be a better navigator.
Yeah, and if we're going with like the whole Wizard of Oz thing, they could all like get some kind of advancement through a gift.
Because Robin, I will say Robin because I would think Vegapunk would know probably some stuff about like the past. Possibly that could be useful.
Maybe about Tequila Wolf too.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I mean, like the Luffy thing. I mean, to me, that right there, I'm kind of 25 to like
the what Luffy thing.
Like Luffy benefiting from meeting him. I don't know. I don't see like what Luffy would gain from meeting Vegapunk.
Well, the true knowledge of his fruit.
Yeah, or to explain like something with the past, you know. No, because think about it. Vegapunk is he is a scientist who could research stuff further for the world government. That means he was privy to some information. So if he knows stuff about Luffy, about the importance of his fruit, just telling him something about the past, and he's listened to the story of Sun God Nika and Skypiea, so it might fit into those stories as well. So I think Vegapunk
with the scans, like also, like in the scans he called himself like what, lousy or something.
Yeah, he said.
So like I was thinking the only reason he would call himself lousy is he would have knowledge of the technology that was in the past. And he was just comparing himself to what he can't replicate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But hold on, go ahead, finish your thought, Cube.
Yeah, thanks. And with that being said, what did I say about? Did I say about Vegapunk? No,
the
world government.
You was talking about how Luffy would benefit.
Yeah, for me, and I'm gonna say like this, I think the entire crew will benefit because for me, I think that he's been invested in the crew or following up in their endeavors since the beginning, and I think he has information for each and one of them.
I will also.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I kind of see what Angel means because I get what you guys are saying, but to Angel's point, and I kind of 50-50 agree with both of y'all. To Angel's point, whatever Vegapunk would tell Luffy, I don't think Luffy would necessarily care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Luffy's, he'd probably hear it, but he probably wouldn't really care. Unless it could actually make him more efficient with his devil fruit. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I'm kind of 50-50 on that. I don't really know how Zoro would benefit, and I don't really know how Brook would benefit.
Yeah, but and then
wait, just to finish my point, it's not saying they're gonna get a power up. It's more like since Vegapunk is a scientist, I think it'll be more clarity. He's gonna give clarity on certain things that they didn't know. It'll give them, a better view, and I think that's what Vegapunk will bring to the table.
But yeah, I still don't think Luffy will care though.
Yeah, but like the biggest thing is the past to me. The fact like he knows the past. Like to me, the chances of him knowing the past is I don't know why, but I just not the past. I mean the void century. For me, him knowing stuff or machines or anything about the void century, to me those chances are really low, which is why I put it at 25% for him benefiting Luffy.
Honestly, the fact that what he showed with the Seraphim, I think he knows more about much more the Void Century than most of the people in the story.
Yeah, I believe he know a lot about the Void Century as well.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, I mean with him having access to the Lunarian DNA.
Yeah,
And
but like
also the
that's
fact
like
that
that's like
he
a,
lineage factor. He's the one who unlocked the secret of lineage factor, which is, I think, it's one of the
yeah, but
most
like
oldest concepts in One Piece.
yeah, but like this Lunarian is how I don't mean like just like I mean him. How do I say this? Him knowing about Lunarians to me is not that big of a deal because Lunarians were probably still alive after the Void Century.
I mean, they still
So
are
I don't know.
alive. There's still one
Yeah, they are
alive.
still alive.
One so far.
So they were definitely alive after the Void Century. So him knowing about how strong and capable they are and when getting kidnapped and him being able to do research on it, I mean to me that doesn't really put him that high when it
It's
comes to
it's
stuff.
not it's not that they put Lunarian. It's just that the fact that if you take an account on everything that we've seen with Vegapunk, is his knowledge. He's able to do stuff like with imitate devil fruit. We've seen with Momo's devil fruit is basically Kaido's devil fruit. He just needs to get better with it. The lineage factor. Seeing how some of the drama stuff it could seem like Vegapunk might have done it better. The smile devil fruit, like we saw all those different stuff, and those are interesting stuff. And so seeing Vegapunk as having knowledge and having more knowledge than people about the Void Century doesn't necessarily mean that he knows everything or he has the information that we're looking for. But he might be the one that will give us the better hints before we get the real information.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
he
what I
knew
thought.
like what happened during the
Yeah,
Void
but he
Century,
knows outcomes.
but I think he
He knows
knows what they had in the Void
Yeah.
Century.
I mean, to me, the closest thing I could see to him getting on the Void Century is his theories on devil fruits. Like that's the closest I can see him getting to talking about the Void Century.
But like even then, it's not gonna be his theory. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be fact about devil fruits.
What do you mean?
Because what Oda has said
Oh yeah,
about once Vegapunk is here, we will know about devil fruits.
Yeah, and plus, like devil fruits. If you research, like you can figure things out. You can learn stuff about do experiments and stuff. So yeah, I think Vegapunk will have a good knowledge of devil fruits. As far as the Void Century, I don't know. Like I think
and honestly, go ahead.
I think Vegapunk would probably have some theories about the Void Century, possibly do like researching a lot of old technology and stuff. But I don't know. Like Vegapunk would probably have a rough knowledge of what happened in the Void Century. But I don't know, And then it depends on how old Vegapunk really is, How long did Vegapunk live?
Yeah, true. But what I think is that the devil fruits are gonna have like a direct connection to the Void Century.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
I mean,
I think devil fruits came from actual living beings.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that too. We're about to get some big theories confirmed or denied here soon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think like I think his theory is probably gonna end with him saying when devil fruit started to appear, and he'll probably just be like, they started to appear sometime in the Void Century or sometime after the Void Century. Who knows?
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be after.
But I'm personally, I bet it's probably during it. It's 100 years is a long time. A lot of people can.
He said she came from 800 years ago. Toki said she came from 800 years ago.
Yep.
Toki said, I jumped 800 years. So it does show that it might have been in the middle of the Void Century or at the end of it. But,
Yeah, I think the only people who aren't going to really benefit from this arc is Zoro and Brook, probably. Unless she find a way to give Brook like skin and organs and stuff.
That's the only way Zoro, my only thought is giving him a devil fruit for one of his swords. That would be the only thing. But actually, even then, I wouldn't even really like that happening.
He could help him for black swords, black blades. Think about it, inherited
he could have knowledge on black blades.
Because that's lineage factor, if you think about it. If you think about it, it's close to lineage factor.
Okay.
I feel as though Zoro should learn that from an actual swordsman, though.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think
again, what I'm saying is,
Well, you
is
could
it's
be a
not, it's
swordsman
just,
and know about swords.
yeah, give
Or
information at least, like give like this, and then you say, oh, okay, that's interesting. It doesn't necessarily mean he'll get a
I'm saying
power
I
up or he'll
think
get
it would be
results
more.
from it.
I'm saying I think it would be more meaningful if he got that type of knowledge from a swordsman, or like he kind of
well,
maybe
it could be like
learned
more
himself.
of a hint. It could be more of a hint from Vegapunk, and then
Yeah.
it could because I think what is it? Ichimonji will turn into a black blade in the middle of the Mihawk fight.
another thing I'm curious about. I want to see how far his artificial stuff has gone. Can he make paramecias now, or can he make Logias? I'm curious.
I
But
think he
Logias
just
will
needs.
probably.
I think he just needs DNA from the user or from the fruit itself, and he could probably recreate anything.
No, I mean he can make those light, but like he can't make a light human or or whatever or dark.
Yeah, and even with like the seraphims, they didn't even show any kind of devil fruit usage.
Yeah, so so I'm just curious. I wonder, or if he can only make zone artificial.
Yeah, I think he can make any artificial, as long as he gets the DNA of.
I mean, we haven't seen
the devil fruit, huh?
I mean, we haven't seen it. That's why I'm wondering, because we haven't seen we haven't seen no Logia or Promethea.
Well, object. Those were all smile devil fruits, though. Those were like Caesar's creations. Caesar's nowhere near Vegapunk. What I'm saying is, Vegapunk most likely he just needs the DNA of either the devil fruit itself or the devil fruit of the person wielding it, and he could probably create it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying we haven't seen a character show that.
And we also haven't had an object have a fruit other than a Zoan also.
Yeah, but we've only seen one devil fruit, artificial devil fruit from Vegapunk.
Oh. Yeah, which was a mythical. Yeah, which is what. That kind of makes me think. What? Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
And the only reason why we know that is because she must have had possession of Kaido's, right? Like Kaido was a prisoner, and just like King was, and she must have got King's DNA and Kaido's DNA, and then recreated the devil fruit. So that just leads me to believe she just needs DNA to recreate it, and it doesn't.
Well,
I don't think it really matters.
I mean, yeah, but that's like
also with that, like if it is only Zoans, that would explain why, because you would have to have the DNA factor.
Yeah, but then
because paramecia fruit's not gonna have rubber doesn't have DNA. Candy doesn't have DNA. Light doesn't have DNA.
I'm saying
so it could. I'm just saying it could be because of that, and that's the only reason artificial Zoans have only been seen.
I'm saying the
DNA because you also have to have the DNA.
All right. I'm saying
of that animal.
I'm saying the DNA of the devil fruit itself. I don't think I get what you guys are saying, but I'm saying the DNA of because all it is just cloning. It would be like cloning a devil fruit more so. So if you could get the DNA of the devil fruit or the wielder who has the devil fruit, maybe you could, in a sense, clone that devil fruit. Well, regardless what it is. I'm not talking about the animal DNA or nothing. I'm talking about the actual devil fruit, because the devil fruit is a object. It's like a fruit, right? So it's like if I was to clone an orange or an apple, like a normal apple, you know what I mean? So like to Vegapunk, if you could just get like the DNA of the fruit itself, you could probably replicate it. That's what I'm saying.
Thinking about this, I mean, I don't. It all depends.
It always all depends, man.
It all depends.
That's why we theorizing, man.
But right now, I'm just gonna go with what we've seen from Vegapunk, and he's only made, well, in his words.
my thought on that is like, if you could just replicate the fruit, if you had the fruit, why doesn't every marine have a fruit?
That
Because you
is
would just
true.
be able to unlimitedly make these fruits. If it
And
was
that's why.
just as simple
I
as
don't know.
taking
I
the
mean,
DNA from the fruit.
if it
Yeah,
was
that's why.
zone,
That's why.
I mean, it's not like Marines don't have zone devil fruits either. But
Yeah, they
we
have
don't,
zones,
we
but
don't see a bunch of Buddha. We don't see a bunch of
No,
Hito no Mi
haven't
Buddha
seen that.
wielders. You know, and what I'm saying, maybe Kaido was the
I
first.
mean,
Hold on, maybe
we also don't
Kaido.
know how Sengoku got his fruit.
But hold on. Maybe Kaido was the first wielder of, or the first person that Vegapunk tried to like replicate the devil fruit, and she believed it was a failure. So maybe it's just something she gave up on. You know what I mean?
all I'm gonna say
I
is,
wonder why they considered that a failure.
And now
That's what I want to know.
Now that we kind of
I
got
have
the
an
new,
idea.
now that we got this new chapter, and according to what Vegapunk said about herself or himself about being a mediocre scientist, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he just seen that it wasn't up to par to what the Void Century or what they would have created back in the Void Century, so it was a failure. Kind of going to your
I
point,
think
right?
that's what.
Kind of
Well,
going to your
yeah,
that's
point,
what.
but
Joe.
also on that point, like you wouldn't have to compare it to the Void Century because you have a user in the present of
But
that
they
fruit.
didn't try it.
You could just compare it to that fruit.
That is true.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't. Again, like maybe there was something that Vegapunk seen as a failure in it. But I don't know. I don't know. I was just, you know.
But yeah, that's why I'm wondering why. And Cube might have something to add to that.
I was gonna say, for me, and it made sense when Momo finally was able to use a blast breath of Kaido's devil fruit. Well, his devil fruit is for me. I think that the devil fruit that Vegapunk creates, I think it doesn't have a will of its own. And Momo was able started to when Momo put it his heart, his will was really strong at that moment. That's when he was able to do his two great feats with his devil fruit. So I do
actually
think
really
that
interesting.
Yeah, maybe that's
I
why
think that's why
Vegapunk.
he meant a failure.
Yeah,
You know,
and
sorry.
and seeing how devil fruits probably come from the Void Century, and just like your point, you said she compares herself and her inventions to the Void Century. You know, maybe the devil fruit she created just wasn't up to par. Kind of like going off of what Q just said. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it just wasn't. It wasn't exactly alike. You know. So,
But
I mean,
honestly,
go ahead.
Yeah. Honestly,
I was gonna say, honestly, I don't think he can just clone a devil fruit.
yeah, no.
But yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't think that's possible.
I think we've seen the process of it. Does Vegapunk does it better? Is what we saw in Dressrosa. Is basically he manufactures, but he does it in maybe in a unique manner. Like he can only get one fruit of one type of type of devil fruit. Like say if it's Kaido's devil fruit, he cannot make 10,000 of Kaido's devil fruit. That's why the smiles don't work. He has one that is functional, which was Momo. So I do think that he's able to reproduce them, but like not clone them, but like recreate the process by making artificial devil fruits or artificial process of the artificial devil fruit.
Yeah.
I do feel Dressrosa, they showed us how they were doing it and they were getting the fruits. So I do feel that was important to see that.
Yeah, and because what the Tontada said it wasn't natural. That's why it wasn't able to grow properly.
Yeah.
And maybe the process, maybe it's part of the process of why she don't continue making them. You know, maybe the process maybe the process is unethical by her standards. You know, maybe you know.
I would love to see what's unethical to her standards.
I'm talking about her standards.
Jeez.
You know, like maybe it takes a sacrifice or something. You know what I mean? And maybe she did it once and she felt like bad about it or something. I don't know. I don't know, but that's
Like
something hopefully we
making
learn.
the alchemist stone in Full Metal Alchemist.
I mean, like maybe you gotta
Obviously,
sacrifice a bunch of people, bunch of kids or something. I don't know, like I don't know, like I meant to make it like exact, like make it perfect. Like maybe to her it really wasn't a failure, but she said it was because she didn't enjoy the process, because it don't seem like it was a failure when we seen how Momo use it. It don't seem like it was a failure. So maybe she just deemed it a failure because she didn't want it to be replicated. And that could be whatever hold on. Whatever that process is or that missing step is, maybe Caesar doesn't know about it, and that's why Smile Devil Fruits are constantly pretty much failures.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna say. I think we're gonna get the answer. Well, not the answer, but maybe like a somewhat of an answer to that question this arc. And I also think that the Straw Hats may leave with Vega. And I also think that the Straw Hats may be leaving this arc with Vegapunk. And I feel like Devil Fruits may be the reason why he leaves. I think Devil Fruits is probably gonna be the main reason for why he wants to learn more about the ancient kingdom, so we can find out what it is he's messing up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Vegapunk's leaving, but
but personally, I think he might leave with the Straw Hats.
Okay.
I don't remember his Vegapunk.
I'm not saying he's gonna be a crew member. I'm just saying he's gonna leave it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got though. All the theory and I got about Vegapunk. Cube, you got anything else to add? You got any theories or anything else to add about Vegapunk?
Yeah, there's just one thing I'm very curious is are we going to get Mads? We know if we find out about Vegapunk, are we gonna find out about the Mads or not? Because I do feel like what we've been getting with the cover stories with Caesar and Judge, soon reuniting, it would be a great moment, like with the cover stories fresh in our mind, to have like an explanation. Considering we didn't get a Queen flashback at all.
Yeah, I can see like a 2 to 3 chapter flashback of Mads.
Yeah,
which would be not bad.
And to speak on to kind of expand on what you're saying as well, this has been a long cover story, right? I thought it would have wrapped up in Wano, but it seemed like it most likely might wrap up in this current arc. And if that's the case, could it culminate to Egghead Island possibly, right? I think that'd be dope. Sanji Judge reunion, Caesar Straw Hat reunion, Caesar for the last Straw Hat, Caesar and Caribou, and then
I'm kind of wondering where like the German kingdom is right now.
I don't know. They're somewhere in the New World though. If they're they're because this whole thing with Germa escaping Whole Cake Island, it was during Wano. So when in Wano did it happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, did this happen in the middle of Wano? Because I mean, obviously Big Mom's not there. So did this happen in the middle of Wano, near the end of Wano, in the beginning of Wano, after Big Mom left? And if that's the case, this whole cover story is kind of like a flashback more so.
Yeah, because Cracker was still bandaged up, wasn't he? When we saw him in the cover pages?
I don't remember. Is he in Whole Cake Island though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Because wasn't Katakuri fighting with him after Caesar's gas?
Katakuri was with Oven.
Oh, it was Oven. Yeah, it was Oven.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we did see Cracker. I think he was bandaged up.
Yeah.
Hello.
We talking. We here. But yeah,
but
Angel, he leaves like half a second for a response. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I was gonna give my prediction before we end this.
Hey, Q, give a break. Give a break. Speaking and say a break.
Okay.
Hello? That's Angel.
Where's your theory at, Cube? Hello?
Go ahead.
So basically, my prediction, or at least I'm hopeful for this, is I think we're gonna, in this arc, we will get a clarity on one of those secret factions, either Cross Guild, Revolution Army, or Matt or Vegapunk. But I think that we might get one big. My prediction is I hope that we get one huge mystery solved that we've been having for the last 15 years. That would be good.
I mean, Oda has been giving us a bunch of stuff, you know. So yeah, I think Oda's we're at a time of the story where Oda's answering a lot of mysteries. Go ahead, Joe.
The end game now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like definitely double fruits are gonna be answered by the end of this arc.
Finally.
My thing. I want to know what's going on with Weevil though. Like we haven't got much from him, but we still need to find out what happened to him with the disbanding of the Shichibukai. And like I was saying earlier, like maybe Smoker was dispatched to handle one of them. I wonder if that was the one he wanted to go handle.
I think Weevil. I think Weevil for 10th Titanic captain, possibly.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I might have something because back when at the same time as what's called Angel was talking about those leaks saying that they translated that apparently Blackbeard is going to Amazon Lily. There was one about Weevil being helped by former Whitebeard commanders. I won't say the names if you don't want to know, but apparently, so I would maybe see a clarity with the Whitebeard pirates.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I didn't listen to it, but since the Angel stuff,
I mean that would make sense since he was claiming to be Whitebeard's son.
Yeah, so if they think that it could be possible, they were trying to protect him.
Yeah, my speculation is Weevil, because his mom, I believe, probably had connection with Rocks, and I think Blackbeard. I'm a die on that hill. I think Blackbeard is connected with Rocks, and somehow, whether he's trying to bring Rocks back to life or whatever, I think she's going to pretty much convince Weevil to be part of Rocks. You know, we don't know.
Oh yeah, I wasn't part of that discussion. Because like my thought about it was, what if Rocks got turned into a rock by the former user of Boa's fruit, and that's why Blackbeard was going after her.
Yeah, we definitely talked about that, and his corpse could be turned into stone, and if that's the case, and he could unpetrify Rocks, and we got Gecko Moria who could remove shadows and put them in the corpses, and let's say my theory about Rock's soul being in Blackbeard. He could remove that soul and put it into a zombie, have a zombie Rocks, you know. Be pretty dope. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, so okay. Any final or any other theories? Any other theories you guys, you know?
I think I got everything up.
You got
Luffy's prize will be food.
What?
I said Luffy's prize will be food.
I mean, Luffy will always accept food.
Of course.
But yeah, that probably would definitely be a prize that he would definitely appreciate. What about you, Q? Anything else?
I think I'm quite content.
So, all right, y'all. So that's all we got for the discussion. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Make sure you follow me on Twitch so you can catch these live streams live and you can engage with me in real time. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And make sure you become a part of the community and join the Discord. Maybe you can eventually be on one of these streams as well. Also, comment down below your thoughts on the discussion and any predictions you got for future chapters to come. And yeah, it's your boy Sean P. the Bluff God. I got Cube, Angel, and LaJoy Boy with me. Y'all have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.